Get Haunted, where you are the investigator. Get Haunted. Paranormal Investigations isn't a show. It's your experience. Join this premier paranormal event company for real investigations at some of the nation's most haunted locations. This isn't a tour. This is hands-on. You'll use real equipment, explore active sites, and dive into the unknown. No scripts, no actors, just you, the gear, and whatever's waiting in the dark. Perfect for both first-timers and seasoned ghost hunters. Each event is guided by experienced investigators. But the discoveries, they're yours to make. 2025 is already jam-packed with incredible locations across the nation. Space fills up fast, so make sure to book your tickets now. Dare to get haunted? Find your next investigation at gethaunted.com.
Oh, hello. We're live.
Oh, we're live.
What's going on? Sarah?
I have no idea what is going on.
Well, I'll get everybody up to speed. Yeah, so we're not going to say hello to everybody on the side. Thank you all for showing up. But it's another one of those nights, right? Sometimes when things are too quiet, you go, all right, what's going to happen? Well, tonight's one of those nights. So there's probably some people new to us. And there's probably a lot of you on the side that are aware of all the stupidity that has found its way into our orbit over the past couple of years. Shut up, Sparky. So here we are, right? So tonight we're sitting there getting ready for another meeting. When I was made aware of this one person in particular, he goes by the name of Jeff Fent. He decided to make yet another video of me, about Get Haunted, about the people affiliated with us. I think I'm pretty sure. Now I can't watch it because he has me blocked. Pretty sure he touched Jason in there. I never met this guy, but he inserted himself into the mess a ways back. So if we look back a long way, folks, we're looking about 2.5, 3 years now of this insanity. And I look at the statements and the claims that this person makes about us, him and his friends. He truly is the thing he claims to be going after, right? So I'm going to recap a little bit here for those that don't know what the hell I'm talking about. But a few years back, 2022, was it 2022, Sarah? I don't even know what year it was anymore. Towards the end of 2022, we had some people leave the company. They were asked to leave the company. They went off, and there were little stupid little campaigns that they created about us. It was kind of petty, dumb drama. It really wasn't anything at the level of what y'all have witnessed or seen over the past, well, really since October of last year. Throughout that, once they left, there were some pretty heavy duty things that came our way, right? And I was really pissed. In fact, one of them was April 22nd of 2023, Sarah? Yeah. April 22nd of 2023, we were attacked on a live stream for a charity kind of thing we were doing down in West Virginia. And they were really brutal and vicious attacks, primarily targeted at Sarah. So Rob was mad, right? Everybody knows Sarah is Rob's best friend. And maybe this is why they go after you. I don't know. And everybody knows that Rob will defend you. So I'm sorry if that ever puts you in a vulnerable position, but that's the truth. People can come at me all day long, every day. They do it anyway. But when they start going after innocent people and my friends and the people I care about, like Sarah, like Jason, I speak up. So after these brutal attacks on Sarah on a live, and yes, her children, I'm saying it. All right, Kristen, her children, because they were and always will be her children. Um, I was pissed. I was out of my mind pissed. I know who it was. Never gonna convince me it was anybody else for a bunch of different reasons. And by the way, all of y'all's behavior right now ties it right back to those idiots anyway. So I found myself in a chat. I was currently back then I was sparring with somebody else, a woman named Larissa, who I was kind of working with, and then we weren't, and then we were going back and forth, right? But she and those people, the people that I believe attacked Sarah, became associated with them. So I was like, well, there it is. At the time, there was a woman named Taryn and a guy named Mike that I was going to chat with. Taryn and Mike also had a beef with this Larissa. So they were already working on something. I entered this chat. We're, I think, 27, 5 days later. And I was fired up and I was mad. And, the things we did to try to destroy families and the evil shit that they said to children on this live really pissed me off.
Yeah, well, let's just clarify. And I really, for me, rehashing this is pointless and it's done. But when we say children, I'm well aware they were older teens, but when you start involving people's family,
Yeah.
and you want to get technical with the word children, they're still my children. This is family. When you start including people's family that aren't in the paranormal world, it's just shitty.
It's beyond shitty. So, and I'm not going to rehash it, but that I want people to understand my mindset when I went into this chat. Back then in that chat, there were three friends. And we made shitty comments, and I'm going to bet, and I bet quite a bit of money, that there isn't a person on the side or this guy, Jeff Fent, whose phone I couldn't go through to find a chat where you might have said something that other people who weren't supposed to see it would take offense to. So fast forward a couple years, or a year or so, and this Taryn decided she was going to leak this chat, in which I said, everybody knows it and I don't hide it. And these people claim I don't own it or that I don't admit to it. I made a dumb joke about a dog, right? And they don't show you this, right? And when I made that joke, Taryn replied, "Oh, Rod," she was upset. And 40 some odd seconds later, I said, "I'm sorry, Taryn, I was joking." Or it was just a fantasy, something to that effect. So then she replies with, "Behead her, not the dog," or something to that effect. It's all out there. There's really no reason to rehash it. That's okay, though. That's okay in these people's worlds. So with that, they found some new fuel. And they managed, because we stayed quiet and we sat on these things for so long, 2 years, and it was a concern of mine. I had said it to Sarah a few times. I'm like, they're just kind of gaining steam. When I'm sitting on the truth, I have it all right here on this phone. And I have things on this phone that they also wouldn't want you to see. But I have it, right? So they gathered some steam. They gathered some friends who literally offer zero, in my opinion, to the paranormal. Oh, and let me just do what they do. By the way, this video is for entertainment purposes only. Okay? There you go. And these are my opinions. Entertainment purposes only. I'll put that in the fucking description. So prior to that, there was this guy that made a video about us. because and they're topical because this was brought up tonight too. There was a company called Ghost Hunts USA that I had left fucking forever before all this shit happened. Thank you, Sarah. Started my own company, did my own thing. Period. Here we go. This person makes a video about us, and oddly enough, it was inspired by my friend Mike. And hey, Theory. This was kind of the first thing. He's now part of this group, or he may not be. I don't know. It looks like they're all falling apart anyway. But they're all together now, right? So he said we were a Ghost Hunts USA shell company. And we were all the same people, all the same look, all this stupid shit that was inaccurate and untrue. Yeah, Aaron. All untrue. He later heard the truth, apologized, came to one of our events, said it was great. And then something happened. I don't know. And then he flipped back, right? He flipped back. So Taryn, the person that leaked these chats, that leaked this over to them, and they all now had this new thing. And it's a chopped up, friggin' shitty narrative that they have pieced together to make some sob story. It's all bullshit. It's all right here. We've put it out there. I made a video with the truth and nobody fucking bought it. Like that's because well, all right, one guy bought it. People don't want to hear the truth. They want to hear the horror stories and all this stuff. Yeah, thanks, Sparky. So Sparky has seen these. I know a lot of people have, and they're afraid to talk to me about it, but you should, right? You should talk to me about it. Because I hold the truth. And Sarah holds the truth. And y'all can go back, and there were people that were coming after us who were basically guns for hire for them, who also said, wait a minute, something doesn't make sense here. I looked at all your social media. I looked at this. I went back 2 years. I don't see where you guys started shit anywhere. And we didn't. They've taken stories and they've manipulated them to fit a narrative that lands on trigger words, that lands on the topics that they know are going to generate some kind of response. Now, this guy, Jeff, has inserted himself. Now, this is, I don't know how many times now, but he made a video not that long ago where he was begging for 10,000 views, and then he would take it down. Makes sense to me. Mary Jo, thank you. Thank you for commenting, because a lot of people are afraid to speak up to this guy. I don't know why. He makes equipment, big fucking deal. He never reached out to me, just like the other people that made that 4-part video series that Sparky's probably talking about, in which I've been called a lot of things. I've been called a murderer. I've been called, Jeff labeled me as a mass shooter because he went to some class. They put me up there with pedophiles. Kristen her story has morphed from I threatened to kill her to recently she's telling me, she's telling people that I actually tried to kill her. I'm posting police reports. Like, I have never, not once, had a single question asked of me by the police. In fact, folks, you know, when this really was all blowing up, and Jeff, if you're watching this or you're going to, or somebody's going to screenshot this for you, there is an IC3 complaint, a federal complaint in against him, against a bunch of people. All right. And maybe you'll find out about that. I don't know. But I'm done. I'm absolutely done playing games. They talk about, so my only guess, right, is Sarah made a post about, and I don't know her name, Sarah the Fox.
Michaela, no.
Yeah. Yesterday. And now today, Jeff is grandstanding on somebody's death, right? Because he's using that as his motivation to make a whole new video about me, about Get Haunted, about Jason, about people that associate with us. Not once was there ever a murder threat. And there's 5,000 lines of text in this stupid chat that this woman hacked up and manipulated, right? And they don't show you the truth, and they don't show you the things they said, and they don't show you anything. They moved it around. They were probably mildly successful at getting us at least shadow banned from Paracon once the ownership or the leadership there really saw the truth. And Jeff, maybe this is why you're not getting traction. Maybe this is why you need to make multiple videos, because, and there are people that are close to you, sir, that think you're fucking stupid and you were being played like nobody's business. We'll get to that later. But so have people like this guy, Chris Crimey, who also inserted himself in there. I had a long talk with Rob and Sarah. Hey, this doesn't make sense. What I'm seeing from Stevie doesn't make sense to me. Yeah, because it's bullshit. So Mary Jo, Jeff was offered an opportunity to talk to me. He declined.
I will never speak. Yeah. I will never speak to Kristen.
No.
That's never gonna. I've walked away. There's nothing for her.
Just so people understand, now for those past 2 years, these people have created hate groups. They've created some of the most vile memes about Sarah that you will ever see. They've reached out to her family. They abused this. They were abusing this woman on the daily, just like they did to you, MJ, on the daily. But Jeff Fence worried about a fucking chat that, well, let me just play it. Let's get this. Yeah, yes, Ryan from Paranormal Theory. Jeff Fenn also made it this veiled threat that he was going to show up at an expo. So let me just play this for you, because I've sat on this for a long time now. This is from January, February. Now remember, Kristen has been telling people that I threatened to murder her, that I attempted to murder her. Oh, and a bunch of other things. But here she is speaking. I'm only going to play the first part here. Her words, not mine.
Without beating around the bush, like, I don't even want to say it was threats, because he didn't know that I was ever going to see them. So it's not really a threat. I just, like, if anybody would just stop and think, like, they go on these tangents, off the rails, fucking absolutely insane.
You don't need to see the rest. Those are her words. Hey, Jeff, she never thought it was a threat. She played you and Stevie and Chris like a fucking fiddle. She did. She did. She never thought, just like I never thought she was going to see those messages. She never thought I was going to hear that. Yeah, Kristen, we know. Your gig is up. Okay. So for 2.5 years now, they have beat the shit out of Sarah. They have. Me too. Memes, drug innuendos. I can't afford drugs anymore, so I wish that was true, but it's not. What else, Sarah? Oh, murder, pedophile, rape, you name it. And all the words that they know are going to generate a response. Oh, we sat here fucking quiet. Oh, Jeff Whittam. They have literally reached out to Jeff Whittam. Jeff Whittam's venue, he's holding a Paracon, has his life savings put into it, and they tried to get him shut down. Why? Because they were letting me in. Oh, and on your show tonight, on your little live tonight, you bragged about how you try to get us banned from Paracons, Jeff, and you don't understand. Somebody's sneaking us in there. Nobody's sneaking us in there. They see the truth. They know the truth. I just don't broadcast it. But because of you tonight, because of your little video tonight, I'm putting it out there. And I hope that the adults, and I get to see who comments. People send me shit, and I truly don't want to see it. But the adults out there, the people that can muster up a little bit of critical thinking, can look at this and say, all right, if this guy Rob did all of these things, how is he not in jail? If this guy, and you can go run my police report, I'll give you the PA State Police right now. It's $22. Handle it. You can swing it. You spend more on fucking Red Bull trying to stay up to make up your stupid stories, right? $22. Go run my report. I'll give you permission. I'm tired of paying the $22 to prove my innocence in a country where we are indeed innocent until proven guilty. And y'all have failed at proving me guilty. Y'all have failed at proving Sarah guilty. Y'all have failed at everything you've tried to do. So you're going to rehash some stupid ass shit on the back of a woman that committed suicide from the very thing that you people do on the daily. On the daily. You're weak. Oh, so now, so not to bring Ghost Hunt USA up, but they're back, right? All of a sudden, now that's not a big deal, right? Now it's not a big fucking deal because why? I don't know. Is there a connection because of where you're connected, Jeff? So now you're going to try to swing this shit over to me again? I left that company like a year before it shit the bed. My phone number's on the website. My email's been right here. Not one person that's ever made a video about me has reached out for the truth. Not one. You know who did? Angelina Rivera. And she didn't make the video because she saw the truth. And when she called, she said, I'm coming after you, Rob. And I said, I figured I saw you. I saw you liking my posts. I know you. She was marking her territory. She's like, what they're giving me doesn't make sense. So what did we do? Sarah and I handed her every single chat. And she went through it and she was like, this is bullshit. But she caught a ton of shit for trying to even tell the truth. But yeah, so Jeff, this was filed, I think back in October. When have you made your first video? It's you, a few of your friends. I hope they take that case. My daughter has come to me, just like Sarah's daughters have come to her. Dad, like what the fuck? What am I want? Why are they saying this? Did you do this? My daughter. So y'all out there on your fucking white knight mission, right, Jeff? Because I see right through you, dude. I know exactly what you are. You're on this white knight mission, and you do not even bother to get facts. So I'm going to bring up two things. One is he keeps saying something about encouraging somebody's suicide. This could be nothing further from the truth. I have the proof. Sarah has the proof. Here's the truth, folks, because these two have been out there bashing and trashing and have no problem doing it. And they support a lot of people in the paranormal who were friends of mine who kind of turn a blind eye to it because, well, they just do. So we were made aware of a situation where a podcast host had a very personal family issue. I received an email about it with some threats. Prior to that, this person had their underage child, on our airwaves, naked, half naked. How many times?
Well, 3 that we know of.
3 that we know of. We pulled the shows down. We asked them not to do that anymore. And then I get this email when I already have people making videos and making these ridiculous threats and putting my face up there with fucking pedophiles and all this shit on. It's just all people that don't use their real names, by the way. Come on, give me a break. Minus maybe 2. Sarah and I made a business. Here's the problem. Nobody can seem to grasp. We run a business, right? And the paranormal podcast program, you're on our airwaves. All it is another destination for you to stream to. That's the only thing we took away from this person. Well, I have the chat messages. I have it all. Sarah has her messages. I washed my hands of it. I didn't want anything to do with it. So I walked away.
Well, I wrote the email dismissing the show. And I did share, just so everybody is aware, I shared that email with all the hosts that were in the podcast program at the time. I wanted them all on the same page because immediately after the show was released from the program, the bashing started from them to us. So I made sure that our podcast hosts were well aware how I handled it, how Sarah handles it. I shared that email. They all agreed. There was nothing in there. I don't mention one word, not one word. I say it is a sensitive family matter. That is it. I do not say what it is that is going on. I know what it is. Never once said it. Once that email was received, the two women, the podcast host and her mother, I messaged them because they had left a nasty comment on a post that Rob had made. So I messaged them. I have all my messages to them. I shared those as well with all the podcast hosts, so everybody understands where Sarah comes from. Just so you guys are all aware, as they didn't get what they wanted, the mom that was going back and forth with me, and I will share gladly what I wrote. I am not aggressive. I am not nasty. I never once mentioned anything, but the mom deleted all her comments. I'm sorry, but if you delete your comments, you have to wonder, I didn't delete mine. She deleted her comments, but you can still see what I'm referring to. There was then a side chat by the podcast host as that group chat was going with her mother. She messaged me personally and made reference to wanting to not wake up the next day. And I can show you that, where I completely encourage her to step outside of the noise and to know that she has a great thing going and she shouldn't allow people to tear her down, and that we understand because we've been in this position. Nowhere do we encourage it. No, I would never encourage such behavior with what I have been through. If I don't like you, I don't like you. And have I said probably some nasty things about people? Sure. Yeah. You know what? So have you. But the point is I have never gone out there and ever stepped in your way. Never once stepped in your way. So I do have those messages. Rob was not a part of those messages. I don't think you spoke to them again. I think you were out. But the podcast program at the time was 1,000% aware of what was going on. I shared that all with the host. So
yeah, and then this is actually another area where this guy Jeff comes in. It's tiring, it's exhausting to deal with bullshit, lies, and made up stories all day. So I said, I'm going to do a pay-per-view because I didn't want to put all the bullshit out there, right? Because I know how the community can gobble up the drama and the nonsense. We've watched it. There's people inside that have been in it and part of it and beaten down terribly, just like Mary Jo, and it's just fucking ridiculous. So I was going to do a pay-per-view for like $5, and share just those screenshots, just that email that Sarah sent, releasing them from the Get Haunted network. You don't get to stream on our airwaves if you're going to break federal law. I can't afford it. You became a liability 3 times. So off you went. We didn't take your show down. We didn't take anything away. I'm sorry if you got most of your views from our page. That's on you. I'm not here to please you or your family. So Jeff butts in now, right? Because he's already on the Kristen horse, and he convinces this person to do a tell-all about what the family matter is. We would never and never would, or we are not like these people. We never would have put that out there. But he talked her into doing it, and she did, like a dumbass. So now that's out there. Good job, Jeff. You should be proud of yourself. And I could go on for days. I could, but I'm not going to. So that whole story is bullshit. The whole Rob tried to murder me, bullshit. Did I make a stupid comment about a dog? Absolutely. That woman's name came up, I think, 5 times in all 5 lines of that chat. They said I brought a gun to a Paracon. I didn't. They talk about a murder, right? Sarah and I were blackmailed, and the woman that and her dumb boyfriend that blackmailed us she gets upset that I call it blackmail because they didn't ask for money.
There was an ask, not for money, but there was an exchange.
There was a request made, or they were going to do this. That's called blackmail. I know you're not that bright. I've heard the things you've said. Go chat GPT it, lady. Figure it out. And I heard he's also not your boyfriend anymore. So congrats to him. They made this blackmail threat. Rob, because Rob does what Rob does. Rob's a former infantryman. I live in the state of Pennsylvania. I do have a concealed carry permit. I went to meet the blackmailers in a park with a laptop with Sarah's face on the other side. So we could maybe just talk it out. Maybe put an end to this shit. Someone was supposed to go to me, couldn't make it, and he was worried. I said, I am carrying. And I did. I brought a firearm there. Guess what? Everybody's still alive. Everybody's still alive.
Check the law. You said in the chat specifically.
I did. I had to make sure it was not a state or federal park, right? Because I cannot carry there. But in that park, I was fine. I did have a firearm. And we talked, and everybody left, and nobody was hurt. Okay? There isn't a single person on my little hate train that is worth any amount of jail time. Trust me.
No.
When I carry a weapon, it's for self-defense. Period. End of story. Sparky brings up a good point. Sparky, I have been through multiple lawyers. There's two problems we have here in the state of Pennsylvania. Number one is there's no such thing as a restraining order here in PA. There's only a PFA, which is a protection from abuse. So the only way to get a PFA in PA is if you're in a relationship with someone. Now that's exactly what this person would love for me to say, but I was never in a relationship with them. So I can't get the restraining order. I have gone through lawyers because the allegations they make are very, very severe. And the bottom line is it'll cost so as much as I love this country and the Constitution, it is their First Amendment right to a degree to say stupid shit. Just is. The problem is most of the local LEOs don't understand the cyber laws, right? Which is why there's an IC3 complaint filed against these people. That's the federal, on the federal level, they understand because there were laws broken. And apparently there were more broken today I can't watch Jeff Fent's videos. Yeah, Aaron, I'm getting to that. But my point is with the lawyer, for me to spend I have to spend about 30 grand to maybe recover 5, right? So fiscally, it doesn't make sense. Hey, if crypto pops, yeah, I'll be suing all these bitches. But right now, we're waiting. So fiscally, it really didn't make sense. Fed laws, that's right. So and this is a little thing for all of you. There are laws out there to protect you. When you do look at bullying laws and anti-bullying laws in this country, at least, they're mostly geared towards children. But when you have a business, and even when you're an adult out of a business, there's harassment. It's pretty easy to file harassment charges, but then there's some other laws, and I'm not gonna tip them off because they're gonna watch this and they're gonna screenshot it. So keep doing what you're doing, because I do want that Lamborghini one day, and I will take your pension. I really don't, and I think you're pretty close to it. So we sit here quiet. We don't stir shit. But these people sit there and they can't believe it. Jeff can't believe that we're still getting into Paracons. They can't believe that people still partner with us. They can't believe people are writing books about us. They can't believe it. Mostly because you people are unbelievable with your outrageous bullshit. If you dialed it back just maybe 2 notches and left it be, people might be like, you know what? Maybe that guy did do that shit. But you were so outrageous. You literally said, I went to a class. I went to a class and I learned how to profile mass shooters. And Rob definitely is a mass shooter. Really?
Wow.
Really? That's what you're going to say? You've never even spoken to me. So I promise, when the FBI or if the FBI knocks on your door, it's not to hire you to be a profiler. sleep on that one. Oh, bad to the bone. Hello, panel. I was just talking about you, Angelina. So we have sat here and we have stayed quiet, but I don't know if they're how thirsty. These people must be really thirsty for attention, because your shit's growing old. No, Angelina, it was good. I was telling how we came to talk. Your shit's growing old. So you have to try to rehash stupid shit, and you have to make new videos, and you need to beef your story up so that so you can get more views and likes. You're trying to get monetized. You didn't do anything, Angelina. Jeff Fent made a new video about me tonight and Get Haunted, and I'm addressing it. I'm spilling it. I'm going to play this one more time before I ask Sarah if she has anything to say, and then we're going to talk to Jason, because Jason has been bullied by this person. But I'm going to play this one last time
to make up some story so that
we'll go back to the beginning.
Rob was basically like, without beating around the bush, like, I don't even want to say it was threats, because he didn't know that I was ever going to see them. So it's not really a threat.
It's not really a threat, Kristen. It's not really a threat, Jeff.
Like, if anybody would just stop and think.
Sorry. I didn't mean to keep playing that. I'm just tired. And where that came from, there's 1,000 more. There's so much more, folks. But that's all you needed to see or hear right there. And I'm sorry about the music. I didn't make that little video. That was sent to me. She says it herself. It was never a threat. Never knew I never thought she was going to see it. And that's the truth, because I trusted I made the mistake of trusting a woman who has done this to countless people and makes it her mission in life to try to destroy people's lives, all while doing some of the same shit that she accuses me of. And then when people post that over on their pages, they delete it. They censor it. So yeah, Taryn. Yeah, it's a good thing your friends censor for you. And you're also lucky that I'm not putting that shit up here tonight. Keep fucking with me and I will. We'll put this up for Jay. Screenshot that. Sarah,
I don't have anything to say. I honestly, this is what I'm going to say. Nothing to say to these people. This storyline has been played over and over and over again. And whatever you want to say about me, you're saying about me, and it has nothing to fucking do with you. I'm done with the children in the room. Thankfully, and I hope, Angelina, you don't mind me saying this, but, I didn't know who Angelina really was. And I was brought to a call because she was brought to, basically we were brought to her table to go after. And this woman spent time talking. I answered everything. We talked, we talked. I trusted her. We talked. And she literally said, I went back and I looked at all your stuff. I've looked at all your stuff, and everything they're saying you did, you didn't start it. I'm done. If you know who I am, you know who I am. If you don't like me, you don't like me. And I probably don't like you, but I've moved on in my life, and I have been so busy and working and doing the things I enjoy doing. And I don't enjoy wrecking people's lives. And for those people that have gone out there, and if we've made business decisions you didn't like, I'm sorry that you didn't like it, but that is part of life. And podcast program it's my baby, and the decision was made, and I know I handled it respectfully and kindly, but it was not met with the same respect and kind at all. You want to go out there and complain, you are now friends with the people that, by the way, you sat there and bashed these people that you are now loving. Yeah. You bashed those people in group chats, by the way. Bashed them. Couldn't say enough bad things about these people, and now your face is right there, all smoochy, and that's fine. I don't care. I don't care what anybody else is doing. I am trying to focus on all the things that we have going on here with so many amazing people. So I don't have anything to say. I don't know who Jeff Fent is. I know that adult men have actually inserted themselves into my life and asked me very personal questions. And I ask of all of you as adults, if somebody called you and asked you some of the most personal questions, do you truly think you're owed that information? Who's owed that information?
Who are you talking about? Crimey?
Yeah, I'm talking about Chris Crimey.
Yeah, Chris Crimey, and another guy who inserted himself into this. Called us, begged us to do his show, right? And we offered it. We said, we're tired of slinging the mud. Look, why don't we talk about actual solutions, right? And he couldn't, right? He's literally a zero without the help of other people on his show. Also
No.
never met him, right?
But you know what? You know what's true? And I am this person. I will give you, whether I like you or not, credit is due where it's due. Chris Crimey is actually a really good host, and he could really do something productive and amazing. So that made me really sad. And, what's very interesting is we had this couple-hour chat with him that he didn't get what he wanted. And that was on a Friday. Nobody knew we even talked to him. Nobody in the network knew we even had this chat with him. Nobody even knew who he was. And I made a very I made a post. It inspired me about how amazing the network was and who was in the network. And I wrote this post, and I didn't name him. I just said this person we spoke to. And then it was like barely a paragraph. And then I went on and on about about how great the network was. And I was so grateful that they could have these open conversations. He immediately saw that post, not his name, by the way. No. Immediately saw that post, went to Rob and complained that I psychoanalyzed him, and he couldn't believe he wasted his time. Never said his name. This adult male actually went on to do a 4-part series and used my name and has used my name and has shared personal information with people about me using my name. I never used his name. And he is saying I'm the problem. Somebody make it make sense. I'm done with the childish behavior. I can't do it anymore. So I'm out on this. I have nothing to say to these people.
No, I feel it. I mean, my message is really for Mr. Fent, but I also want the community to be aware of what these people are up to. And I want Jason's message up, but I want to show this. This is some of Chris Crimey's handiwork, right? So I'm the one accused of bullying people. You're the one accused of bullying people. We're mean. We shouldn't be in the paranormal field. We're evil. We should be banned from everything, right? Everything. But here's Chris Crimey circling. They screen captured
one of our shows,
and circled Sarah's face, and he calls her. Well, he has this weird Star Wars fetish. He's a man child. But here he is circling Sarah's face, calling her a Wookiee.
Look at his business partner, the Wookiee wife of Chewbacca from the Star Wars holiday special, just eating it up.
Right.
But look how cute that picture is too. Like I never get frozen on a cute pose.
No, you never do. But we're the bullies, right? But they can sit there and make all these sexual memes about Sarah. Sexual memes. Saying things like I make her give people hand jobs at events. We'd sell a lot more tickets.
We're probably maybe they gave us a business idea, but there's a couple adult men in there that have made actually very nasty memes. So for somebody like Jeff, and let's just put it this way, I was on the call when you mentioned.
No, you're frozen.
Chris Crimey wanted to know all the things. Chris Crimey wanted to know all the things that were going on. As we were talking to him, you made mention, right, that they're putting personal lives out there that could put a woman in jeopardy, could put me in jeopardy, right? And Chris Crimey has taken that statement now and is trying to turn it into, because they like to speak about people's personal lives, that now you're going to go after them for speaking about it. So they take everything we say and they try to use it to their advantage, that we're some sort of crime ring. And this is the part of social media that breaks my heart. And you guys can all go back on all the posts that I've ever written in the network. In that same clip, he says, I'm full of shit. I'm all this love and light and I'm full of shit. I promise you, I am not love and light. I promise you that. But I will always encourage to look for something better. So it's not love and light, Chris Crimey. I'm not that. If you understood Buddhism at all, you would understand it's not about love and light at all. It's about the dark freaking corners. So I think they're so worried about women, and I have been literally put in positions that are not favorable to women.
Oh.
And they don't care.
They don't care. They do not care. So, and Angelina, I sent you a link. You can come on in about 10 minutes. I want Jason to tell his piece here. And I did let Jason know that he was mentioned tonight. Now, fast forward to Pennhurst Paracon, where I was also accused of doing heinous things like walking around at a Paracon and breathing. Like some of the most insane bullshit I've ever heard. But I was coming down a back path behind, I think it was behind the Quaker building, and I ran into Jason. And we had never met in person. And we were talking a little bit here and there, right? Because you were asking, you had reached out and asked about stories for your books. And then Jason was just kind of gone, right? And I'm not a big, I don't check on everybody every day. I try to stay away from social media as much as I can. But there he was. And Jason, and look, man, so Jason, they stopped me and they're like, he's like, look, I debated telling you. He's like, I don't know if you noticed, but I've been gone. Like, honestly, I really didn't. He's like, we debated telling you. He's like, but your shit kind of reaches far and wide. That's right. I was standing there menacingly. And then we started to talk. And I heard Jason's story. Yeah, it does. It breaks my heart. So the bullies out there that want to call me a bully, Jason, why were you gone? Why were you dark?
Man, I'll try not to drag this story out way too long, but it definitely needs a little bit of context and depth. I wrote a book, which you guys have graciously promoted a bunch of times and helped me out. It's my debut book. It's the first book I've written. I've written more, or more's coming. And of course, when you write your first book and being somebody that's marketing and promotion stuff, I want to pump my book. So I agreed to go on to a podcast that's on your network. And I did that probably like last August, September-ish. And it got pushed back and pushed back and pushed back for whatever reasons, which were none of my business. They weren't my reasons. They were the host's reasons, and that's fine. He doesn't owe me an explanation. During the time those things were pushed back, I had gained some friendships and stuff with a lady named Victoria, who lives in Canada, just north of me. I've known her about a year, and then we both of us, my fiance and I, made friends with Mike and Bianca, who were on Project Fear, and they were one of the few people that paid their way onto an episode, and they did it at Madison Seminary. We found out that they lived extremely close to us, like within minutes. So we were able to connect with them and formed a really close bond with those people, to the point we kind of melded together almost as like a squad or a team or whatever. And they were all on board with going on adventures and exploring haunted places and helping me get more experiences for my book and just going on adventures themselves and just being really good friends. So in around December, of last year, we had booked Hinsdale House and Wildwood Sanatorium. And during those bookings, Victoria had mentioned that she wanted to bring her friend Jeff Fent. And I only knew Jeff Fent from online, seeing that he made spirit boxes that I had seen on TV before with like Nick Groff and stuff. So yeah, that's cool. Whatever. She knows him. She vouched for him. We go to Hinsdale. I can tell you that as soon as we got to Hinsdale, it was an immediate, just everybody having conversation, having a good time at first. But I live streamed to my Elements of the Unknown page probably about 2 to 3 hours of the start of our night. And Jeff Fent became very panicked because in those 2 to 3 hours, him and Bianca sat and just trash talked people nonstop in the community. And when he realized that there was a camera recording, I'm pretty sure he unplugged the laptop so that it would die, the battery would die. And then kept asking me, do you think you could hear what I was saying on the microphone? So he's very worried about what was recorded on the live and if it was going to stay up on the page and who was watching and all that stuff. And I thought that very odd. But I mean, if you're going to talk trash, you obviously don't want it to be out in the public on a live stream when you're trying to do it behind the scenes. But the other odd things with Jeff was that as soon as he got there, him and Victoria, who is married, Victoria's married, were cuddled up on the couch like as soon as we got there. And I thought that was really weird. I thought these people were kind of like enthusiast companion friends that just work together on investigations. It's very odd to me. And then when they chose the rooms everybody was going to sleep in Hinsdale House, Jeff decided to unplug the cameras that faced the room that him and Victoria were sleeping in, which I thought was very odd because the network is recording the whole house so that we can capture evidence and experiences and stuff. So it leaves alarm bells, but we don't say anything because we don't know him. And when we go to Wildwood, he begins talking all about all these people. He talked about Rob. He talked about people from Ghosted Magazine, telling us that, these are mafia-style organizations, and once you're in, you're never out, and all this stuff. And I don't know these, like, I don't know anybody from anybody. We're just Canadian enthusiasts that I wrote a book and I want to have experiences. But for him to tell me all this stuff, and I get it was in confidence. Okay. But to bring it full circle, when the podcast that I was supposed to be on comes around and I'm supposed to be on it, I help promote that I'm going on this show. And as soon as I promote that I'm going on this show that's on the Get Haunted Network, Jeff Fent messages me privately and tells me not to go on this show. Says, do you know who you're aligning yourself with? Do not go on this show. And the gist of that conversation, which I have all those conversations, just like you, Rob, I got them on my phone, tells me that if I go on that show, I will be blacklisted from the entire paranormal community. I will not be allowed at sites anywhere in the United States. I will not be allowed to go to cons, and I will be removed from the community and shunned from the community, as will anybody that I associate with, including Mike, Bianca, Victoria, my fiance. We would all be blacklisted. So that, to me, is very bullying and blackmailing to remove myself from that podcast. So, I mean, I did, because I now have Mike and Bianca messaging me, telling me, you can't do this. You can't go on that show. How dare you not tell us? And I wasn't trying to maliciously do anything. I was just trying to promote my book. And when I said, well, hey, listen, Jeff is like saying all these things. And she goes, he's right. He's right. You can't do it. You will be. But it occurred to me that they had a monetary investment with Jeff because they had already prepaid to have one of his Fent boxes made. So they didn't want to get cut off from Jeff because they didn't want to lose their money and lose their equipment and lose their ability to go to Madison Seminary and MadCon and go to conventions and go places with him. They didn't want to be cut off from that. So they immediately shunned us completely, me and my fiance, and bitter fighting for like a good part of a month, to the point the people in this household, myself and my fiance, were very emotionally depressed and had some very, very bad thoughts. All from this, stemming from bullying and losing people that were very close friends and people that were selected to be in a wedding party of a future wedding that is going to take place with me and my fiance. So she was pretty devastated by this, and I was pretty upset too. I became more upset that things were happening with my fiance and her depression over this. Yeah. So I came to realize after talking to Rob that I cannot allow somebody who pretends to be a white knight bully me into removing myself from the community. Rob said, don't ever let anybody take that away from you. You do the things you enjoy and don't let anybody stop you. And he was very right. Very much right. I'm sure there's a whole bunch more I could go on about.
Yeah, I mean, the intent of the show is not to really to kick the shit out of Jeff, but I need people to understand what happens, because you are one of many. And my heart, like, especially with your fiance, like, I saw the pain in her eyes and on her face. And you guys don't even know. It's why I came back to have lunch or dinner, whatever the hell we did.
Yeah.
I left there. I think I messaged Sarah, and I was thinking about you and what I had heard, and it does hurt. It hurts my soul to think that somebody's disdain for me, especially when it's built on lies and false information, would hurt somebody else that badly, just to have you not go on a show, which hurts that show host, by the way, Jeff, you fucking tool. It hurt my heart. And when she said, look, I've talked to you for 10 minutes and I feel so much better. Like, that really, you don't know what that did for me. Because we don't get to talk a lot. And Sarah and I don't get to address this a lot. And I didn't even want to do tonight. We have sat for 3 years now. 3 years. To dealing with some of the same similar shit there, right? And this guy, who I don't think I met him. If I did, I can't remember him. Who's never once asked me a single question about anything, can do that to you, to your fiance, to your team, to your co-host on your show. Like, when you told me you gave up, like you were like kind of done and you went dark.
I did. I backed out of everything. I removed any single person in the community from my Facebook. I removed any group. I went meticulously through my Facebook and basically cut the entire paranormal world off, with the exception of like maybe 5 people that I felt close enough to trust. And yeah, I really shut everything off. And I had spent like a couple years like really trying to build myself up for basically building my own brand and building my own brand of the podcast and the book and trying to really put myself out there. Listen, I'm a person that wants to see good in everybody. I'm somebody that wants to talk good about everybody. I don't want to talk bad. I can't stand drama. I walk away from it. But not everybody can handle it the same way I do. And I'm very protective of my own people. So whereas I was able to say, you know what, no problem, I'll cut it off and I can handle it, walk away and continue with my life.
Yeah.
My fiance couldn't disconnect the same way I do. She's not built the way I do. She's built differently. Mm-hmm. And I respect the way she's built because she's a very caring and compassionate person. So it ripped her apart more than it ripped me apart.
I don't know what this
is that a negative comment or I don't.
I can't read it. I can't get a good read on it. You can
so
come on too, Rick.
I just, the people that we knew were good people until there was a line drawn in the sand. And unfortunately, there should never have been a line drawn in the sand, because I believe most of it is built off of half-cocked notions and partial ideology and stuff. And I just it's impossible to understand why you would just want to go on for years now attempting to do, like, what is the end result? What is the goal?
I'm not sure.
Like, I don't get it. Like, is this how people think that they can get on top of the world in a community, by like destroying pieces of it so that they can get ahead? I see that, you know what? That stuff happens not just in the paranormal community. I used to be in the car community,
Oh yeah.
and that stuff happens too. People will try to defame anybody they can to get themselves ahead. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, this is not.
Today's story absolutely like crushed me when I saw that. I can't see the videos, the lives on the other end, but to know that he was piggybacking off of a situation that had nothing to do with the paranormal community. And I watched some of the videos from the community where that lady committed suicide, and her husband, how devastated he was. I've had people I know commit suicide, and it hit home really hard. But it's really aggravating to think somebody else could use that to their advantage. It's just, it's horrible, horrible thought.
Yeah, it's pretty gross.
My heart, you know what? It made my heart go to the point where it's like, I want to find a way we need to like group fund, donate to that lady's foundation or something. Like,
yeah,
I
what? When we do,
support it.
They even go after us when we do things like we try to do charity events. They go after us for that too. You like, there's no doing right. So, again, so if Rick's comment was negative, I don't know why.
Who cares? Who freaking cares?
I don't care. But that if it is negative, that would be an example of someone that doesn't know.
But I'm curious. What is it we're saying? This is where I'm very confused, because anytime I've ever addressed a situation, I've never called them names, or I've never gone after them with memes. So I guess I'm very confused as to what the issue is. We're over here doing our thing. I don't know what Jeff Fent does. I don't know. So like, go do your thing, and you've got your people, and that's fine. They don't have to like me. I just don't get it. What are you laughing at, Jason?
Tom's trying to like crawl by and not be seen, but I could see her little head down here. I'm sure everybody saw it.
Now on to another person and so aside from Jason, again, you guys gave me, you gave me some hope that day, right? Because I'm gonna be honest with everybody, I wasn't gonna go. Like, so they thought we were banned from Penhurst Paracon. Turned out we weren't. Penhurst reached out to me and they're like, would you guys come down and do a live? Let's get this shit cleaned up. So we did, and even that obviously upset some people. They did offer us tables and we declined. And I declined mostly because I was like, you know what? Because like it had been said, let's let this year be like a cool off year. Let everybody just be, right? But I'm gonna go and support you guys. And I paid and walk around. And I did. I got a weekend pass. And that's how I ended up running into you. But I went by myself on the first day because I was worried that if I showed up with the gang, right, they were going to be like, oh, here comes, whatever the shit they make up, right? And the truth is, anybody that knows us, right? Am I scary? Not really in person. Mike, yeah, a little bit in person. He's too quiet. But it's like, come on. And even there, I was literally accused of winking at someone that I didn't even know was there, walking around menacingly and I was doing laps at a Paracon, which is, I don't know what else, if I was supposed to hover, walk
you stay in one place, you don't walk around. They
should have built a little pen for me like Hannibal Lecter in the middle so that people could come by and be like, "Arr." But you can't do anything, right? But they've all tripled down on their stupid ass stories. I saw Jan Jacobs walking across the street and I yelled And I said, "There's trouble," and she didn't hear me. But anyway, prior to the Jason piece, Angelina. I know Angelina. I know Angelina now, but I knew who Angelina was. Um, and Sarah can tell you, can attest to this story. But we never really, really talked, right?
No.
Then all of a sudden, I'm getting Facebook notifications. Angelina Rivera liked your post. Angelina Rivera liked your post. And I called Sarah. I'm like, well, get ready. And she's like, what? I'm like, fuck, Angelina's coming. Now, Angelina's not one of the people you want coming at you. You just don't. She's relentless. No. It's a
She
good
gets the job done.
I agree.
she's like a fucking FBI interrogator. Like you're not she gets the truth.
Yes.
I called Sarah. I was like, well, here comes around whatever we're on. And then Angelina reached out. And I'm paraphrasing here, but according to Angelina, what I remember is that hey, Sparky, things didn't make sense to you.
No.
And you were literally, and all the years of doing this, Angelina, the first person to go, what? This doesn't make sense. And I looked at everything and I don't see where you guys are starting shit, but it sure looks like they are.
That's true.
Oh.
Can you guys hear me okay?
And you don't know what that
You're a little
is.
quiet.
Yeah, you're quiet. So I'm going to boost you. So thank you. Right.
You're welcome.
Thank you for even asking. Right. Thank you for trying to resolve this. And Ryan, I will get to your point. We're trying to get to the bottom of the muck and the gross. If anybody thinks for a second we enjoy this, we don't. It's a massive distraction. I know I'm innocent. Sarah knows she's innocent. So we all know the truth, right? It's the people that hurts around us, like Jason, or crew members. That part kind of sucks. As far as I know, there's only a few locations that I'm not allowed to go to that I didn't have on my agenda anyway for a variety of reasons. But I just think you gave me hope, because it's hard to sit and watch these things be said about you and displayed, and for what little people they are, they did get some traction by landing on a couple of the larger debunkers, right?
They're not that large.
Okay.
They're starting to fall in their numbers.
Okay, but to me and my 700 followers,
Don't give them that. Don't give them that.
Okay.
Large YouTubers. They don't deserve that title.
And maybe what other people don't know are the death threats that I received and the messages I've seen on Facebook where people were going to take a ride to take care of me, right? So Jeff, yeah, man.
Why would Jeff Fent ever say, "Tell Sarah and Rob I'll see them at White Hill Con"? Like what kind of statement is that?
He couldn't wait to see us, and guess what? That's what he said. I can't, Ryan. That was on your post, so you might want to, those kind of things, right? Inspire violence. They inspire people to go out and do stupid shit, especially when you make up these lies, and they have been lies, very twisted versions of fragments of this fucking 2-month-long story pieced together to make Rob sound like some kind of devil.
Didn't sound like the devil to me.
Well, but you didn't run with the narrative, Angelina. You dug in.
No, I didn't. I kind of started to run with the narrative because I've known Taryn for 3 or 4 years, and I thought Taryn and I were friends. So once what really caught me was the Side-Eyed Guys video with the thumbnail. That pissed me off to no extreme. You had no business on that thumbnail with that man. But I kind of almost ran with Taryn's narrative because I've known her for so long. I don't know if it's my air conditioner, if you guys can't hear me, or...
No, your audio's low. You're fine.
Let me see.
And I'm deaf.
It's just regular
I'm
audio.
cranking up my hearing aids.
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe if I take my earphones off, is that better?
Yeah, a little bit. I think.
Is that better?
Feedback.
Too.
Yeah, now you got feedback. You're fine. Put your headphones back on.
Yeah.
Boop. Here I go. So I kind of, in the beginning, was believing what Taryn was saying because I've known Taryn and I thought I could trust Taryn. But I'm the type of person that, one, I'm from Massachusetts and we don't trust nobody until we know who that somebody is. Taryn said one thing to me that didn't seem right and was a big red flag. And that's when I took a deep dive. That's when you started seeing me on your page liking stuff. Because I went back 4 years on your Facebook page, Sarah's Facebook page, everyone involved's Facebook page. And I got people to talk to me. I got 2-3 hour audios. I got a lot of stuff. And in the midst of all this, being sick and having to have surgery, prior to that, I did. I listened to everyone's story. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people on their end, 2 on your end, and none of their shit makes sense. None of it. I see where they started the battle with the text messages and the nasty mouths and the nasty comments. Chris Grimey, I don't even know who that guy is, and he just made a video, something about I associate with the Warrens or something, which is not true. So, but whatever anyone thinks out there, stop thinking what you're thinking about getting haunted, because they're not what these people are telling you. And I'm so sorry that happened to you. What's your name again?
Jason.
Jason, I'm so sorry that happened to you. And I've been in your shoes. And life is like this. This is how my life is. If Sarah came to me and talked about one of her friends to me to get me to not be friends with her friend, I wouldn't listen to Sarah, because I'm basing this girl's off of Sarah's judgment. Sarah said she's this, Sarah said she's that, so I'm not going to hang out with her. And that's wrong. That's wrong. And that's what's happening to you. And people need to grow up and realize that if people are fighting with other people and you have nothing to do with it, stay out. Leave them out of it. Just leave them out of it. Like, I'm so sick of hearing this shit. I got shit. Angelina doesn't go on YouTube no more. The debunker scared her off. No, Angelina has a life, and Angelina makes her fucking money on TikTok, if anyone needs to know. YouTube doesn't make the money for me. I got off of there, they said, because Side-Eyed Guy. I got off of there because Cody and Satori. No, it was my choice, and I even showed you guys the email. My choice to stop talking about Cody and Satori because I felt the awareness was out. But that's the rumors that's being spread about me now. I stopped because Jason Haas threatened me, because Cody Satori threatened me, and because all the debunkers called me out. Well, I don't see no call-out videos. I do see one by Beardo prior to that, but he don't mean shit. He is nobody. He's just a bully, just like Side-Eyed Guy. But, sir, Jason, don't leave the field. Don't let them get the better of you. I tell you, after I did the video, I got a lot of shit. And I was a little upset for a while. But then I was like, all these people giving me shit? Who cares? I don't know them. And I would never want to know them for judging me based off of what someone else said and not even watching my video.
Yeah.
You can't let people scare you
Yeah,
away.
you know what? And this is why I told Rob that I gave him a lot of credit, and maybe he didn't quite understand that I know the way I am, and I feel that right there, what you're just saying to me. That's the type of person I am. I don't let people tear me down for nothing. I keep going with my own stuff, and I lost sight of that because I was so caring about my own household. And it was Rob, who didn't even know me from the next guy at Penhurst, told me something that really struck home when he said, "Don't ever let any of those people tear you down. You keep doing what you do." That reminded me, it was like an instant snap reminder of who I actually am and who I am as a person. And that tenfold, the universe was telling me through Rob, just be yourself, keep doing your thing. And I can say since meeting Rob, I started writing again because once all that drama hit, I had stopped writing for months, and I was writing almost daily, and I had stopped for months, and it was destroying me inside. But once I met Rob, I started writing again, and I just started being myself again and putting myself back out there. I owe a lot to Get Haunted, so thank you, Jeff, for pointing me into a direction where I was forced to look at both sides and make my own decision.
Yeah, see, and that's what more people in this field and in life in general have to do. I don't know that person, so let me make my own judgment. And we're not even supposed to judge each other. I'm Catholic and I don't judge nobody until you give me a reason. When you give me a reason, then I'm going to judge you. But until then, I've had people telling me, why are you talking to Rob? Why are you talking to Sarah? Why are you doing this? You know what? Because I like Rob and Sarah. Because when I was going through all the bullshit after the video, Rob and Sarah were there for me. But there was a person that I defended, and she wasn't there for me, and she lied. At the end of the day, she lied, and that sits on my chest every day, every day. But it's gonna come out.
Oh, and let's
It's
let's
gonna come
let's
out.
clear the air, Angelina, just so everybody knows, because for some reason Chris Grimey feels this is his business. Yes, I am the one when Angelina had come out of surgery. After Rob and I talked about we need to give some. I would be lovely to give something to Angelina. Yes, I bought the gift of food sent to Angelina.
That I couldn't
And
eat.
Chris Grimey decided it was okay for him to dig into where my money comes from and how I spend it. He actually made it a point to reach out and discuss that. I never hid it. I didn't, and I just so everybody knows, we never discussed. Angelina just said thank you to Get Haunted to Sarah and Rob for the gift. And Chris Grimey apparently did some very deep and personal digging. And I don't know that it's anybody's business what my bank account is.
Well, he watched me and he said, "How does it feel to get a gift from Sarah's husband?" And I didn't quite understand that
Mm-hmm.
until Christina broke it down, and I'm like,
Oh yeah,
"What?
he
Why
does
would her husband?" Yeah,
anything he can to demean and belittle Sarah.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he does.
maybe he likes Sarah. Maybe he likes you, and he knows he can't have you, and he's a little schoolboy, and he's lost.
Well, I listen, I don't know, but I just want everybody to be aware out there. Chris Grimey will dig into your personal life, where he will. I don't know if he called where I bought it from. I don't know how
You're frozen.
he knows what bank account I do have or don't have. But he does dig into your personal life and he finds it that it is his business to share your personal life. So Chris Grimey,
Yeah.
since you want to share my personal life, I'm going to go ahead and let them know that you like to share it, you dig into it and you share it with people. My personal life has nothing to do with one single person out here. My personal life belongs to me. My paranormal life is out for discussion. That all day long. My personal life belongs to me.
Yep.
Period.
Yeah.
Chris Grimey's got something coming for him. He thinks he digs. I've already dug. I've already dug.
Look,
I've dug. So you don't worry, Sarah. You're gonna get vindication soon. And I'm sick of seeing those memes. And they all just tried to come at me at different angles on YouTube's, like complaining about some of my videos and trying to have me violated after Kristen lost her when she thought she had with YouTube. My video stayed up. Now every day I'm getting violation notices to videos that these people aren't even in. They try to violate me in a Penhurst video from when I was running away from a bat. They were nowhere around me. So they're just coming at me and coming at me. And they can keep coming because YouTube ain't doing anything. I'm not doing anything wrong. Not anything wrong. Nothing. And I don't know why they keep going. I don't.
so here's what I want to add one last piece because Ryan brought something up also at the Penhurst Paracon. There's this small but expansive network of hate, right? One of those people his name is John Curley, and he threatened. Hey Tracy, he threatened to punch Mary Jo, who's on the side here, in the face at the Penhurst Paracon.
Mary Jo
This is
Chesley?
Yeah.
this is also the same guy that you can join us, Patrick. You'll never get out, but you can join.
Whatever that means.
Apparently, there was a big. I wasn't there, and probably better off. But Penhurst security was made aware of it. There were plenty of witnesses. Jesus Christ! Danny sneezed and scared the shit out of me.
Oh my God! I thought someone.
Physically threatening a woman, right? The same guy. This is the same guy who has made vicious memes about Sarah and myself, but he really also focuses on Sarah here. So,
well, let's just so everybody understands that, because this gentleman, this is his mindset. One, I like Rob said, in one, I'm a clown that gives hand jobs. Apparently, Rob passes me out to give hand jobs at events. He also likes to talk about, just so all the women out there know, this is who Jeff Fent is defending. Speaks about my private parts and how I stink. That's what he says about me. Please go look John Curley up. That's the stuff he talks about me. So all these men that are out there thinking they're saving these women, and I think women should be saved. Like, if you need to defend your counterparts here, just know this same man likes to talk about my private parts and talks about me basically being a hooker. So there you go. I guess I'm the one woman in paranormal that's not worth defending. It's okay to beat up on me, but it's not okay for us to let somebody go on a business decision. Don't let somebody go out of the business, but let's go ahead and just, and by the way, I've always had lovely interactions with John. He's a little gruff, but always very kind interactions with John. He was part of the podcast program. I would reach out to him and his partner. Never knew anything. Also, one day he was just gone. And the next thing you know, I'm the most vile things. I have never spoken ill about John Curley ever.
yeah, but these are the people that all work together, right? And they made a little syndicate, and he calls himself the sheriff, and they have enforcers. I'm sure that's what Mr. Fent thinks he is. So I'll gladly throw and Fent, if you're watching secretly, I'll throw you a link. You bring your ass up here and we can talk, right? And you've been offered this opportunity multiple times. You just won't do it. You have to ask yourself why. Stop grandstanding on the death of somebody, an innocent woman. You grandstanded on that to make your video today. Absolutely disgusting. If you don't think we and the greater part of the community see what you are and what you do, you're wrong, sir. You are absolutely wrong. I'm going to play this one last time in case you're joining late. I've been accused of so many things in the last few years. Murder, attempted murder plots, you name it. Not once have I ever been questioned. Not once have I ever been brought in. Nobody's ever looked at anything. Kristen's latest, and I have it. She tells somebody, Rob tried to murder me and my friends and my dog. These are her words. Tried to murder her, right? And I made all these threats. However,
go on these. Rob was basically like, without beating around the bush, like, I don't even want to say it was threats, because they weren't. He didn't know that I was ever going to see them, so it's not really a threat. I just, like, if anybody would just stop and think.
Kristen.
There's more.
Oh, I know.
I'm putting that whole tape out. I don't care.
You can do whatever you want.
I've already got the legalities worked out.
That 30 seconds right there, when I first heard that, you were there. I cried because there it was, the same person that's been calling Paracons, calling our locations, calling our friends, reaching out to people in Japan, saying I threatened her and all these things. In one sentence, unraveled your whole fucking story. And then, oh, and there's a lot more people. But that one sentence right there is all I'll ever need. Jeff Fenn, it's all you should ever, you should play that on loop and listen to it for about 25 hours straight.
Mhm.
And then you should delete your Facebook and your TikTok and every other piece of social media that there is. And you should spend a little bit of time reflecting on the type of person you are and what you've done and the necks and the throats that you've stood on to get likes and views, and to the people that you have bullied, sir, the people that you have stopped writing, the people that you have made people go, oh my God, I can't even talk about this guy anymore. And people are afraid because they're afraid to be the next one. They're afraid to be that next video. Well, fuck him. So keep making your videos, because every time you do it, yeah, use that audio in your box. Because every time you do it, you make me stronger. All of you clowns, you just do. You make Sarah stronger because we survived.
I want
They
to.
bring me
I
more.
want to.
They bring me more fans.
Yeah,
Keep it
I do
coming.
want to say to Angelina, you know, we spent a lot of time with Angelina, and
Hours.
we've had private
Hours.
conversations. You know, Angelina, I'm not going to speak for you. I think I am who I am, from the minute I met you up until this very moment. And what I will say is you have shared a lot of information with us. And I know there was a point where, you know, you were going to do videos, and I was always on the fence about that stuff because I know what it causes, and I know the troubles that come with it. Because I promise you, part of my the part of my journey in this bullshit is because when it got really rough a couple years ago, we did a live called Raw. And I know that I think Victor likes to say we took that video down. That video has
It's still there.
been up on YouTube and well, it's no longer on Facebook because they take that stuff down, but it's been on YouTube this whole time, never took it. And I mentioned, again, first names. These people have used my name, my picture, and all I said were two names that if you didn't know who they were, you wouldn't know who they were. But what I want to say is, you know, you shared things with me with your digs and the information you got. And just to have those moments, I don't care if the rest of the world, I don't really care what social media has to say. This has been, this has hurt me more than I realized. This has done damage more than I ever admitted. I kept going. I kept encouraging people. I kept doing what we were doing. And to have those moments with you, Angelina, for you to just say to me, like, here, listen to this. This is what they're saying. To hear them speak the truth and their part of it really was freeing. And I can't convince everybody on the side. I can't. And my job isn't to convince everybody on the side who I am. You either like me or you don't. You don't. You don't. But what I will say is I do post a lot about people choosing to end their life. And I will always put that stuff up because I think that should be shared out. We've got to do better on what we're sharing. Like, we're in the paranormal. We are not about people's personal lives and trying to crush people's spirit. We're all going to die. We can all do what we want to do in the paranormal. If somebody isn't your cup of tea, move the F on. I don't, this part of it is what's been so heartbreaking. But at the same time, Angelina, you sitting down with us, and I know, like, maybe there was those moments where you're like, are you guys really shady? I need to understand this better. But you listened. You're one person in social media. You're a YouTuber. And you sat down and you listened to our story. And I just want to thank you. And I don't know, I feel like I've said it, but I don't know that I've really ever expressed it to the point that I don't think you understand how much you gave back to me personally. And for you to just take the time to listen to me and get to know me. And again, yeah, I will send you 1,000 more things of food. So suck on that, Chris Grimey. Like, it doesn't matter how the fuck I pay for things.
Just make sure I'm not having surgery and I can eat.
Okay.
But I want to thank you for saying that, and there was no ulterior motive behind me doing the video to get people to like me or not like me, because I could give two shits who likes me and who doesn't like me. I'm not that girl. I'm in my own lane, and that's where I'm going. I've had the same problems as Jason in the paranormal, but you know what, Jason? Keep branding yourself, because I keep going, so you keep going. And to people who don't know Sarah, you have a problem if you're talking about her. She's very quiet. She's very honest. She's a very good conversator. And I know it's been bothering you because I've seen a change. You haven't reached out much. You've been more quiet. You've been kind of hidden behind the scenes. And I think you need to stop doing that and not worry anymore about these people and their bullshit. You know it's not true. So let it go. I'm never going to bring out anything else. And there's a couple people mad at me because I won't bring other things out. And I say to them, do it yourself. Why are you making me do it? Those are the people I don't want to be around because they're trying to use me to get what they want. And for people who don't know Rob, I'm kicking myself in the ass that me and Rob weren't closer 3 years ago when we met on a podcast. I wasted all this time listening to Taryn and other people about Rob, and Rob and I could have had a way more developed friendship.
Yeah.
Back then. So I'm guilty of thinking Rob is a piece of whatever because I listen to other people. And when I dug deep and realized there's nothing shady about you guys, I kicked myself in the ass, because I know Rob and I, if we were friends 3 years ago, we would have an incredible friendship right now. Incredible.
Wow, thank you. Yeah, listen, it is hard, and Sarah props me up more often than you think. Like, guys, I don't.
You
It
guys
is
make
hard.
a good team.
I've been in some dark places, right? There's nothing like waking up to your face on a banner next to a pedophile.
I felt so bad for you.
There's nothing worse than that. It hurt me, like, and it did make me question why are we even bothering, right? Especially when someone can go out there like Jeff and get all these people listening to him. Yet I know people that are close to him that are like, this dude's fucking crazy and I can't believe he's doing this, but they won't talk about it. I wasn't even going to talk about it today until I heard that he used our names. And I'm like, that's it. I'm greenlighting it. I'll put out the 2 pieces of information that, unless you're an idiot, should debunk everything that this dude's trying to claim, at least in those 2 instances.
Send me the video. Send me the link. Did he do a video?
Jeff?
Yeah, he did a live. Yeah.
Send me the link.
I don't. He blocked.
We're blocked. He blocked us a long time ago.
Yeah, we're not allowed to see him
What's the
talk
name
about
of his
us.
page?
So,
what's the name of his page?
And just so everybody knows, that person that we don't know if that was a comment for good or bad, which I'm assuming it's negative. It's what's sad to me is he's working for a celebrity or on a celebrity show, and I would think the celebrities would not want that out there. So he's a part of Death Walkers, isn't that?
I don't think Jeff is a part of Deathwalker.
I know he's not, but the guy, this Rick Perry or whoever spoke, he's a cast member of Deathwalker. Isn't that a Nick show?
That's Nick. Yeah, it's Nick and Tessa. Yeah. And Dan Kloss, I believe, is an executive or a
he's friends with him. He's friends with him as well. So, and here's the thing: these people don't have to like us. I don't understand. Again, I don't know what we got called out for, but I think the reality is, Jason, and same with you, Angelina, we talk about people make these comments, right? But guess what? Then that group of people go to the next trend, and then they've got something to say over on that trend, and then they go over to the next trend. And so there's no real cause here. No. There's no real cause. And I know that it's been said that they want to, I believe, Rob, it's been said that they just want us out of the community, that we should be kicked out of paranormal. I'm not sure who owns paranormal. Just so you know, I asked God, and he didn't tell me who was the president down here of paranormal, but that we should be kicked out of the
We have to
paranormal.
train that egregore and who is.
Yeah, so I don't know. I don't understand. Like, and I'm not sure. So once we're gone, and just so everybody's aware, Rob and I have had these conversations that we would just be done. We will close the doors and we will do our own thing, and we will not continue on with the community. We've had those very real conversations. We have, it has been discussed on more than one occasion. But I promise all of you on the side, if it's not us, get ready. It will be the next group that they will be after.
Yeah. Nobody's safe.
Nobody's safe.
Hold on,
Aaron's
sorry,
running
Sarah.
for office.
This is what happens when you have no life.
Someone
I mean,
named Jeff as
God.
well. Yeah, like our problem is with Jeff Fenn. I'm done not talking about it. And that's all this is. Stacy nails it here. It's gatekeeping. That's what he was trying to do with Jason. It is blackballing. It is bullying, and it is threatening. I don't do those things, right? And the truth is, the people that have left Get Haunted, or who have been asked to leave Get Haunted, are behind a lot of this. A couple of them, and they're mad. They're mad that this was taken away from them. There is a point when you run a business where people, you need to get rid of people that are there for themselves and not for the betterment of the company, especially a young company that's trying to make it happen. So, yeah, I'm sorry, but you were asked to leave for a reason, or a lot of reasons in one case. That's called life. That's called, hey, grow the fuck up and move on. I'm not here to provide.
They don't even like the paranormal. They've actually
Yeah.
publicly stated
Yeah,
they don't
they
even
said
like
it.
the paranormal. So
Yeah. So I'm not here to provide free events for all of you. I'm not here to do all these fun things, and they go off on these crazy ass stories that are just not true. So
and that has been something that has been said to us, and that is kind of the thing that we've heard on a couple of occasions. Even Angelina, you've been so kind to share, like, with a few of the people that have been after us. You're like, this, you're not the only ones. They've done this to several other people. So this is their productiveness, I guess, in the paranormal. I don't.
They haven't stopped. I haven't even told you guys this yet, but I have 4 people that I'm currently speaking to that they are going after, and I don't even know these 4 people or ever heard about them in the paranormal. All I know about them is they keep to themselves, and they don't go to paracons, they don't go to big events, and they're being brought up. So, yeah, I mean, they're not just attacking you guys and me and whoever else. It's a big circle, and it's gonna take a big circle to bring them the fuck down, or it's just gonna keep happening.
We've talked about this, though. You have to ask yourself. It's, yeah, the people that spread the hate suck, but I think it's the people that consume it that breaks my heart even worse, right?
Yeah.
Because they're just consuming it mindlessly. And I think then when you're put in a position like Jason was put in, I mean, this is stuff that I helped my kids with when they were like 10. This, not when we're in our 50s. It is sad. And to hear, I think, when all this has gone on, have I had a personal conversation here and there with people about some of these people? Of course I have. I'm a human being, and you all have as well. But I've never gone out there on the attack. And I think, we've moved on. We're doing whatever we're doing with business, and we're meeting new people and new collabs. And to have Jeff Fent come out and do a video and actually say the words "Get Haunted," I guess what I don't understand is I still have never met this man. I don't know what has ever been done to him personally, and why are you so threatened by what Get Haunted does? But yet you're backing, and look, I have no skin in the game for Ghost Hunts USA. I know nothing about that. I don't know anything about them. But to have these people now backing somebody that was the center of a controversy, but still using us as the scapegoat, it's like, it's enough is enough. We've done nothing. I'm yes, Sarah is helping with Rock Island Roadhouse Esoteric Expo. I've put a lot of time and effort into that. I'm sorry that it's upsetting some of you. But we have been to multiple Paracons and events and locations. And not once have we ever been escorted out because of violence or cruelty or bullying or picking on. Not once. Not once. So please stop with you. It's got to end. This is move on.
Yeah.
Move on.
And here's another big point that nobody seems to. The chats that they're all worked up about are they 3 years old?
Mhm.
3 years
Almost
old.
almost 3 years old.
We've ended there twice since those chats ever happened. Never an incident. But I'm going to make it sound like it just happened today. Some of the people at Penhurst that I spoke to were like, wait a minute, what? These are old they're fucking, they will say and do anything to win this battle, to try to win. And they lose it badly every day. Very, very badly. Very badly.
Well, I hope that if they're going to champion and advocate for mental health, I hope that they realize, like,
Wait,
one day this
what?
could be somebody you love that is being targeted. And like Jason watched his fiance really battle something differently than he did. You know, if you don't like me and you don't care that I struggle, that's okay. I'm all right. But the reality is, no matter what you think of someone, to even give them an ounce of struggle and have any kind of depression or questioning, or even wanting to move on in something that they feel very passionate about, you really should think about that, because one day it could be somebody you love. And
Yep.
you know, to watch, you know, to bring, and I'm not grandstanding on this, but to watch that gentleman talk about his wife
Yeah, that was rough.
because of online bullying, if that doesn't wake you up, I don't understand what will. And all I'm asking is, have never done the things these people have done to me. Never once.
No.
And if you can find it, I will apologize publicly for it. But it's got to be
No.
real.
No one's gonna find nothing. I can
No, 'cause-
guarantee you that, because I fucking dumb. Sarah,
they
you'd be like, where did you guys go to high school? Where did you guys go to elementary school? I even tried to get a hold of people's friends. I called Penhurst. I called everyone that was involved, and I researched the shit out of everyone. And Chris Grimy is a very grimy man. And soon, the
Do
world
me
will
next.
see.
Do me next.
Yeah,
Dig on me.
Soon they'll see.
Jason next. But you know, in all seriousness, yeah, and look, they're going to claim, Lori, that this is a tabloid type podcast.
We
It's
get to
not.
speak too.
We have always ever just responded to stupidity. The bigger problem is, you know, all right, the dude makes equipment. He might have been on a TV once or twice. I don't fucking know. That's more valuable to some people than somebody else's livelihood or their sanity or maybe even their life. And that's where we go wrong as a community. You know, people need to, instead of rallying around it and being like, oh my God, there's a guy out there who chimed in on one of his videos, but told me, no, I didn't even know that was about you. And I actually kind of believe him, right? But why would you chime in on any kind of video like that just to what? Well, he usually goes out after bad guys, really bad guys. I'm like, okay, but this time, yeah, no, that didn't happen. So why even engage it? But people love it. So I don't know. It makes me sad, but here's my prediction, right? Not for me, not about me. One day, somebody's going to take this shit a little too far, and there's going to be a terrible, terrible response to it. So Jen, I don't think we need security from Jeff Fent, but
No.
there's eyes there. Billy Joe Graves, do not consider exiting or going dark or hiding You've got friends and you've got a home right here. Do not let them do that. It's bullshit. Hey, Jenny from Ireland. We know you're from Ireland.
Jenny from the block. Hey, Jenny. I love Jenny.
So, but I'm not going to be quiet anymore. Part of the reason I haven't released a lot of the stuff I have, and Angelina can attest to some of it, is it's rather embarrassing for the other parties. It just is. Also don't believe in the volleys, right? I don't believe in going back and forth. And but this now, to have it kind of simmer down, and now to watch Jeff Fent grandstand on a suicide is
Well, and
what happened? What?
What the hell?
Is she destroying?
Sarah got attacked by a ghost.
But
the demon came out.
To watch him grandstand on that, and then once again drag my name into it. Can't hear me? Oh, Sarah, we can't hear you.
Your audio's down.
Nope, she's gone. She fucked up the whole show. Well, you can leave and come back. Well, we're gonna wrap it up here in like 2 minutes, but I'm done. I'm done being quiet. I'm done being accused of things that I haven't done. If those things were true, people on the side or whoever the hell that guy was that commented, just do a simple search. I'll give you my record. These are people with a vendetta.
I'll give you all the information on Rob.
Yeah, Angelina's got it all.
I got stacks on everybody.
With a vendetta. One that for entertainment purposes only appears to just not be able to not think about me or talk about me. I'll make that 2 now. So I'm done. So Jeff Fent, open invitation. You can call me. You can talk to me. You can ask me any question you want. I'll hand you my phone. You can go right through it. Come learn who's been lying to you. Come learn who's been playing you like the little fiddle you are. Maybe you like it. Maybe that's your thing. I don't know. But get off me. I can't hear you, Sarah. No.
I think you unplugged the cable or something. Did you unplug your mic?
Way to end the show, lady.
She's helping those hearing impaired to read.
She started
reading
swinging. She actually punched me. There's one true story out there.
Sarah can't answer back. Let's talk about her.
Sarah punched me in the face at the Shanley Hotel. Hard.
Oh, she's back.
Did you fix your mic? I hear you.
Oh, there you go.
She's back.
Hello? She also has this uncanny ability to stay perfectly still so you don't know if she's frozen or not.
Yeah.
So what were you going to say, Sarah?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, now we can.
Oh, okay. That's weird. No, what I was going to say is it's a little like it's ironic. Like this person admitted that they've been working hard to keep us out of Paracons. Like we've done none of that. We've done none of that to anybody else that has literally gone after us, like talked mad shit about us. We've not done that yet. He admitted tonight that he's trying to keep us out of Paracons. So who's wasting time on who? We have not. We just haven't done it. There's no way we could be where we are work-wise if all we did was what they're claiming we do. There's just no way.
Yeah.
I mean, to go back to my video, watch the references I put up from the businesses that you guys work with. No one's got nothing bad to say about you. And you guys got long-term customers like Terry and other people that go to, people need to dig deep. Dig deep. Don't trust what everyone says. If you don't know about somebody, go find out for yourself. Come on. Get over it.
And it's weird that all these people that can't leave are gone and doing their own thing and bashing us. So I'm confused about that statement as well, that you come to Kit Haunted and you can't leave, yet several have left and they're out there shit talking us. So where haven't we let you leave?
So that doesn't make sense because I've been talking to you guys about joining the Get Haunted Network. you haven't pressured me into joining. We've talked about it. We haven't met back up about it. But you talk to me. You help me when I need help. Rob helps me with my merch if I need help. You help me if I need something. So I don't see that happening if someone
Well,
joins Get Haunted.
Jason drank Kool-Aid, literally.
Jason made a bad video. You
That
were
boy.
called out. You were called
It might
out.
have got shared again tonight.
Yeah,
I don't
I
know.
It
saw.
probably did.
I got called
So,
out.
No, Jason
Oh.
did for drink. He shared he was drinking Kool-Aid and flipped a pack of Kool-Aid in the video because obviously everybody thinks we're a cult and we thought that was funny and
I enjoy our
Wait.
cult.
We're-
I mean,
it
don't
better be a
everybody
cult or I'm leaving.
yeah. Everybody get the new robes and hats I sent.
No, Canada Customs is delayed.
yeah, that's right. That's right.
all right.
I'm in the Catholic cult. That's it. That's the only cult I'm
Oh,
in.
shoot.
Well, I do want to thank everybody that joined us tonight. There's a lot. Thank you so much. Jason, Angelina, thank you for being two of the sort of the bright spots on in my journey last. Yeah, Justin, where have you been, man? The bright spots, on this dark trail for a little while. It's, sometimes I sit back and it's amusing to watch some people try so hard, right, and to keep just falling on their face because the truth always kind of wins, right? It just does. It doesn't make the sting any less, and it doesn't make stories like yours, Jason, or yours, Angelina, or ours, or Billy Joe, or anybody on the side who's been a victim to one of these clowns. Denise and Ernie Pack took all kinds of shit for years. But what you do and what you do make us stronger. We do find our tribes, and the more you people keep going, eventually the legal boundaries are going to hit. And again, I don't know if this got leaked out to you guys yet or not, but there is a federal complaint against Jeff Fent and several other people, and that sits with the FBI here in Pennsylvania. You can call him Jeff. Maybe you do one piece of due diligence. Give him a call. Like, excuse me, Mr. FBI, are you guys looking at me? And this is going back a few months after your first faux pas with me. So I honest to God, don't have time to do the things you people want to claim I do. The desire, because I'm busy literally trying to help the community and trying to build a business and trying to give people a voice and trying to find people like Jason McRae to bring his book to Pennsylvania this weekend so that we can go to dinner and hawk his book and talk about it and then go investigate a beautiful location in New Jersey called New Egypt Historic, the New Egypt. Fuck, I'm calling it the wrong thing.
Can you talk?
Because that's what I'm busy doing. I spend my days trying to do productive things. I don't sit around plotting the end of the world or who's fucking who or who's
He does, Aaron. He mutes me.
What I did?
He said, except you mute me.
That's not what I do. Okay. Maybe when I put on my evil villain costume.
He practices his winks.
Yeah, I'm practicing my menacing winks towards.
I'm actually kind of disappointed because we've gone almost 2 hours without hearing or seeing Little Annabelle.
I know. No Little Annabelle came out.
I broke the jinx here.
So we'll end the show with this. Little Annabelle got mad the other day, and she busted the glass on her cage. So I had to I called it on her case. So I have her in a secure location. Because she was like, and the glass busted out, and we had to like hold her down, because she saw a post from somebody. So she's angry right now.
I have a serious question about Little Annabelle. Have you put thought into how much energy and collective energy has been put towards Little Annabelle and what could be happening?
It's her mission in life. She's a conversation starter. She's been bringing people together, and she has also watching. No, I didn't see that, Patrick. She's also, helping me snuff out some stuff. So she is a
Don't use
reflection.
that word. It's
Yeah.
she's a. Don't use that word.
Oh,
Because you
sorry.
could have accidentally slipped and said snuff out people.
Yeah,
No,
don't.
no. Snuff out the
Someone's
bullshit.
gonna edit that together
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, they already
with the
did.
AI.
They're no, they don't even need it. They literally took. We were doing what was that? What was I trying to pitch, Sarah? Where they cut me up? It was like Christmas thing.
Yeah, I don't
Damien
remember.
Smith was watching, right? So in one of their videos,
You can, Jenny.
Damien. It was for this soiree. So I was yelling at my New Jersey friends, like, "Hey, like you guys, I haven't seen. You can, Jenny. I haven't seen my New Jersey friends buying tickets for the Supernatural soiree, and they. So Damien says, Rob, make a list, and I will, I will take care of it, like with his magic.
He's got the
So,
Ouija board on his arms.
So I say, all right, Damien, I'm going to make you a list. Well, they chop that part out and they turn it into this dramatic thing where here's Rob telling people, giving orders, a hit list, if you will. That's fucking true story, right? No, not one of these clowns over there that's making videos and whatnot went back and was like, where'd you even get this? They're like, wait a minute. Yeah, it's freaking awesome. Go ahead, Jenny. Did Jenny ask the question?
No, she hasn't asked yet. I'm watching. I'm seeing.
Then I got it. My voice is gone. I've been talking. We had a 7:00 staff meeting.
Yeah.
I had to yell at everybody because I'm evil.
You did your evil staff meeting.
Yeah, I did an evil staff meeting. Fired people for no reason.
Well, I do. Let's end. Well, Jenny, if you're going to ask your question, you got a minute here to do that. But just to end it on a great note, just so everybody knows, this weekend, this Friday night, you will be able to go out and meet the founder of Get Haunted, Rob Stackowitz, and of course the amazing Canadian author Jason McGray, right there in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, and we will be giving little clues as where you can come find them. And I believe Mr. McGray has a few books that he's going to be bringing with him, and some stickers and some pins, and we've got some stickers, some fun stuff. So you know what? It is about getting out there and meeting each other in person. Get out. I've been putting this on my post. Get off of social media and get into the real world.
Yeah.
Come meet these folks face to face. It's going to be a great time. And that's all leading up to Saturday night, which is right there at New Egypt in New Egypt, New Jersey, for a great investigation. And we do have a couple tickets left there. So if you would like to investigate with Mr. Jason McGray and Rob and a couple of other amazing people, this is your chance to do it at one amazing, intimate, and a paranormally packed location. So you can go to extremeticketing.com to get those tickets, but keep your eyes open on the network page to find out where you can meet these two fine gentlemen in person tomorrow. No, wait, it's Wednesday, Friday night. I don't even know what it is anymore.
I don't even know either. But right now it's Wednesday.
I know. I can't figure it out. I can't.
Yeah, thank you all for listening, for watching. It does feel good to finally get some of this off my chest. Angelina in the past has been like, just put all that shit out there, and I don't. It's not who I am.
But sometimes you gotta be that person, Rob. Sometimes
I know.
You gotta be that person.
Like when you
gotta
when
nip
you
it in the bud when it starts.
When it's time to fight, it's time to fight. And tonight, Mr. Finn and his rants, his childish rants it's just stupid. It's fucking stupid.
They've been wanting to hold us hostage, and I think that you get beaten down mentally so much, right, that you just want to want to crawl into a hole and just hope for that noise to go away. But you can't allow people to take that spark away. So we're sparking away. Oh, question asked above. Let me look, Jenny. Hold on, because things were ripping through here, Jenny.
Yeah, I didn't see it.
Oh, here she is. When did paranormal become TV shows, etc., and not the excitement that we used to have before we knew this drama? Yeah, you know what, Jenny? My opinion, and I love my girl Angelina here. But I think because the debunking thing is a trend, but debunking went from debunking and giving actual more theories to think about to shit talking and, you know, more like the TMZ of paranormal, right? It's not debunking like, hey, look, this video seems this way, but let's think what it could be. They don't offer a bigger conversation. They just feed you dirt and hope you won't notice, I think is my opinion.
No, you know what, Sarah? You're absolutely right, because I have thought about that for myself on my next videos. And some people have noticed I've changed and stayed, because I don't want to become that beardo or that side-eye guy and that big bully. So I talk about methods and how things could happen, and or show a video and say, this is how this probably happened, and explain things, not just call people out and body shame them and call them names and stuff like that. You know, I went back and watched some of my videos on Cody and Satori, and I did a lot. And there's some things that I went too hard on, in my opinion. And am I going to apologize? No. But I did go too hard, and it taught me to not do that again. Because how would I feel in those shoes? You know, and that's what the debunkers don't think about. They're thinking about, you know, one debunker hits 30,000 people, beardo, and then he goes and quits his job, and now his wife's taking care of him. So they don't think. They don't use the brain.
And remember, one of them uses a plate in front of his face, so we can't see who he is.
Right, and then that one who side-eye guy who covers his face, he's very big about not showing his face because he has children, and he's more of a comedy roaster instead of a debunker. But it's okay for other people's, like my family, to be threatened because of your bullshit.
Yeah.
So
like
the debunkers are
his kids
tearing
are
it
important.
apart. They're
His
tearing it
kids are
apart.
important. My kids weren't.
But no one
My
else
kids
are.
weren't,
Right.
Fuck that.
To touch on what Jenny was talking about, I think she's roundabout getting the right idea out here is by asking when did this turn into TV and all this stuff, and we all know the answer to that. When things like ghost hunters and ghost adventures become sensationalized in the beginning by American TV, everybody in the world wanted a piece of the pie, find out a way, and there's all kinds of gray area on how people do that and tearing each other down. Or then YouTube came along and we found ways to do it on YouTube, and it's just become this giant ball. And while all of that was happening, we have actual paranormal investigators that have nothing to do with TV that are attempting to keep moving forward, but it's almost like we're working against the grain of American TV at the same time while we're moving forward with our ball of paranormal and the unknown.
That is what Rock Island Roadhouse Esoteric Expo is all about. It's about giving them the platform, the people, boots on the ground, the content creators that are trying to share their expression, not necessarily force a belief, but share their expression. The authors, the locations, the investigative teams, the businesses. That's what that expo is about. It's not about getting in line. There's nothing wrong with the celeb. I've said it a million times. However, this is not about getting the autograph and the picture. This is about finding your inspiration and your motivation to keep doing exactly what you said, Jason. And I think, but it's there, and it's time that's what the community is. It's not the celebrity. It's we're all nobody's getting ahead in death. Nobody. Like we're all exploring our own mortality, and we're making those connections to those we've lost, and hoping that history reaches out. So this whole we're peons and somebody else isn't, and I'm going to decide if you can do this, and I'm going to talk shit about you. Like, seriously, it's weird to see junior high resurrected through something like the paranormal.
And I had fun in junior high. That
was popular.
By the way, I noticed how the Canadian blamed the American TV. Right?
Don't get me wrong here. We're a part of that American TV. I'm not separating Canada from the U.S. Because we have just as much corny paranormal TV as well. It's not even as well executed as
one phone call is all I got to make.
Who? The paranormal president?
Yeah, that's right. Paranormal president. I think Aaron Palmer's running for it now, and I think the
Yeah.
PACs are like everybody's putting their name into that hat. So
We'll send B2 straight to Canada. We don't care, and it's a short flight.
Do you want me to
I'm pretty close. I'm pretty
provide you
close.
insight on which province to hit, or?
all right. Well, we've
All right,
kept everybody
Ernie.
2 hours.
All right, yeah, it's been 2 hours. I need to get some sleep. It's hard. I don't stay looking this good without a lot of sleep and moisturizer.
Okay.
I'm hacking up along here. I don't know. I choked on this. I think the bits at the bottom got lodged in my throat.
The backwash. Ugh.
Nice. Nice.
What does body shaming have to do with debunking? Just asking.
It doesn't. I don't know.
Because Angry Cajun body shamed Selena Spooky.
Oh.
Side-eyed Guy has body shamed people for what they wear on investigations. Wear what the fuck you want to wear. That's what I'm talking about.
Thank you, Damien.
I wear a crop top and
Selena Spooky is Canadian.
I love Selena Spooky. I don't believe her ghost hunting, but I love every other aspect of her. And I sit here for hours and watch her sleepwalking, and I just freaking laugh my head off.
Billy Joe, you have a good night too,
Yeah.
and I'm glad you found
Billy
that tonight.
Joe.
Yeah. Palmer Brian, there you go. 2025.
All right, folks. Well, thank you. Thanks for letting me get that off my chest, Sarah. Thank you as always for propping me up. Jason, Angelina, again, thank you both. You've been sort of that rope I needed, along this journey to pull me back up a little bit and find faith in humanity.
Well, thanks for calling me in. I was just wondering who I had to thunder punch.
Yeah. But yeah,
we love you, Justin.
Jason, this weekend, again, we're doing the NATO thing. We're gonna do dinner. We're gonna do a ghost hunt. So
love you,
if you're interested, give us a shout.
Order some Kool-Aid.
That's it. Come see me Friday and Saturday, folks.
Yeah. So, what we always say, we're going to end this. We're going to end it Sarah style. So, what we always say, we see you. We do. We appreciate you and we love you. Thank you for being the good in the community. And just know, if you don't like somebody out there, move on. Don't try to destroy somebody's life because you need to spread some sort of weird projection. Let's try to keep it civil, folks. Let's be adults and let's be community again. So with that, have a fantastic night. And tomorrow's a brand new day, folks.
Oh, it is.
All right. Peace out.
Curiosity over fear.
Love, peace, and hair grease.